Alrighty, me and Pete here. We have another Brainbuster for you, actually, right, Pete?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we want to give you an advanced Brainbuster where we review the topics that you've learned and combine everything together. So we're going to combine the group by clause, the count function, and also connecting like three tables together. And so the question for you that you should take some time and pause the video after I tell this question and try to figure it out on your own. The question is, let's figure out how many times each movie has been rented out. So for each movie, I want to know how many times has that been rented. Got it? Okay, go pause the video and we'll be back right after you pause the video and figure this out. All right, hope you got it. That was kind of a lot of things, but hopefully it's a good review for you to combine all those topics together. So let's get started. So we want to figure out how many times each movie has been rented out. So let's write our skeleton first. Select from, where, and then we're going to be using group by, so let's just use group by there. Sorry, I'm just going to move this to the top so that you can see it more easily. Boom. Okay. So first things first, figure out which tables we need to get that information from. So the first table is the film table, obviously, because we need each film and each film title. So let's put film there. And again, let's put the nicknames, right? So we can put F. We can honestly put anything we want for that nickname. We could even put unicorn, and anytime we call it, we do unicorn dot title. And that's going to be the nickname for film. But that's kind of confusing, so let's just use F. And unicorn's even longer than film anyway, so that's not much of a nickname. So let's keep it as F for film. What else do we need? We need to know how many times it was rented, right? So where are we going to find that information? Let's look through here. Ooh, rental sounds like it might work, right? Okay, look at the content. Okay, it has like when it was rented for each rental ID, but it doesn't have a film ID that we can connect it to. So, but let's put that down for now. Rental R. And now how are we going to connect the rental table and the film table? So we'll examine the rental table and we'll see the different columns it has. Inventory ID, maybe that's it. Let's go to the inventory table. And there we go. We see that inventory ID connects to film ID, and film has film ID. So we're going to need to connect those together. So we'll need the inventory table, and we'll nickname that I. Alrighty. So let's figure out what information we want. We want the film title. And let's just do the count of how many times it's been rented. So, this is kind of confusing because I understand how we're going to go through this, but you kind of have to think about multiple things at the same time. So actually, let's step back a little bit and step away from the select clause because that's going to actually relate to the group by. And Pete's going to hear and help me out a little bit.
I'm back. You can't replace me.
So let's go just connect all the tables together. So let's do film ID equals inventory dot film ID. Right? If you guys want to recap that, you'll see in the inventory table, there's film ID. So we're just connecting those two together. And inventory rental ID equals rental ID. Right? So in inventory ID equals rental inventory ID. Sorry, that was wrong. So that'd be ID equals rentals inventory ID. All right, there. So we've connected all the tables. And we want to know how many times each film has been rented. And so each rental is a unique ID, so we'll probably want to count that.
Definitely want to count that, I'd say.
Yeah.
You got to do R dot.
Ooh, good.
You got to make sure they know what
Pete.
table you're calling that from.
Okay, so that's all we need for the select, right? But we need to make sure we're grouping it by the title so that it'll give us a count of rentals per title. So let's group by 1, which is a title. And that's that.
That's clean. That's clean, Dave. Run that.
Boom! There you go. So you figure out how many times each movie was rented out. If we're curious, we can do this. And we're like, oh, Bucket Brotherhood was the most rented movie. It's our most popular movie.
This is going to be like this type of query is going to be some of the most important things you do because you always want to know what's driving the most revenue. What's the most popular thing? What's the least popular thing? Maybe we need to have more copies of Bucket Brotherhood and fewer copies of Mixed Doors. I mean, that sounds. I'm not too surprised by this information, but yeah, this is like a really important type of query that will help you. And like this is like even 30 minutes into this course, you already have something that you can really use and make a difference with.
Yeah. So if you have if you are trying to figure this out and you had problems or you stumbled along the way, make sure you put that in discussion. Let us know at what points you're tripping up on or at where you were stuck, so we can help you. Like maybe we could explain this a better way. All right. Thanks so much.
Cool.
See you in the next lecture where we'll be covering. What are we covering next?
Arithmetic.
Arithmetic functions.
It's going to be exciting.
Math. Everybody loves math.